It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing your holy name. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel. It's by thy grace that I feel your holy name. Someday the day shall come when all the glory shall be thine. People will say it is yours, and I shall deny, not mine. It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing. It's by thy grace that I sing your holy
goes.
A wild Scott appeared.
Whack it. That's my favorite.
Giving her the eye.
Good morning, Unity.
Morning.
I hope you all are having a wonderful Sunday. We are a social media friendly church, so if you want to check into Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and if you see anything that inspires you, you want to share that with the interweb, please feel free. But we do ask that you silence your phones, so take a moment to check on that. And also, if you need any hearing assistance devices, we have them in the back. You can go ahead and grab that at any point if you're having some trouble hearing it. And I don't think you'll need it for this next song. All right, let's sing loud. I want you to stand up and sing Spirit Song with me, okay? Let's get it started. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Come on. Walking and talking with my mind set on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind set on Spirit. Walking and talking with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Woke up this morning with my mind set on Spirit. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah.
Woo! Good morning. Is God good? When? All the time. Oh, you guys are good. You're on fire this morning. Oh, so good to be here with you. We have my affair with Africa this afternoon. I fly out of the country on Tuesday. So I have my little leopard pants on. Some of my friends have their little things on. Oh, hello, everyone at home. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Reverend Denise Schubert. I am one of two amazing spiritual leaders here. Reverend Claudia is here with us again this morning. So, you ready for your a joke? Yes. It's about a Catholic school. How many? Well, so little Zachary was doing really, really, really poorly in math. I mean, his parents were incredibly distressed. They didn't quite know what to do with this kid, so they took him out of public school and took him down and enrolled him in a local Catholic school. And after the very first day, Zachary came home from school, went right up to his room, worked all day until dinner time in his room doing his homework. He never even stopped to kiss his mother before he went up to his room, just in the door up to his room, working. His mother called him down to dinner, so he comes down to dinner, he eats, not saying a word. His parents are kind of in shock going, what happened to this kid? You know, it's like, wow. right up after dinner, goes back up to his room, more and more homework. And this went on day after day after day. And when he finally came home with a report card, A in math, and A. So he went up to his room to study some more. So with great trepidation, his mother and father looked at the report card, and she could no longer hold her curiosity. She goes, what is going on? So she goes up to his room and says, Zach, honey, what is it? Is it the nuns? The little boy shakes his head. Whoops, don't shake your head. Was it the books, the discipline, the structure, the uniforms? And Zachary looks at his mother and says, no, it was on the first day of school when I saw that guy nailed to the plus sign, and I knew they weren't fooling around. I wasn't raised Catholic, but I figured that my Catholic friends here would appreciate that. So I want to thank Janine Hedberg for facilitating our meditation today. David Card, who is our platform assistant, and of course our always amazing music team today, Amy, Jesse, Erica, and Scott. So we have prayer chaplains today. Bernie and Dorothy Fanchi are holding the high watch for us. That simply means that they are in meditation, remembering to remember God through the whole service so that we can have a truly deep and sacred experience here. So we're going to, let us do a modified, we decided to do the full faith blessing once the first Sunday of every month, but we're going to light the candles every Sunday, and I'm going to invite David up to just tell you what this represents for us.
Okay, so Unity Naples honors the diversity and threads of truth that run through all the spiritual paths as represented by this ceremony. And the heart represents the one heart, the one love that resides at the center of all people and all life. May peace prevail on earth through the following of all paths.
Mm-hmm. And so it is. Mm-hmm. So good, we just blessed the whole world. Peace to the world, yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to read our community purpose statement. This is our higher wire for coming together. It's, we come together for our personal awakening, our personal upleveling of consciousness, and we come together as part of a world, a part of a unified world. Feel free to read along with me if you'd like. Our purpose is to inspire, educate, and empower individuals to experience themselves as unique and individualized expressions, the love intelligence that governs the universe. We are committed to not merely a theoretical understanding of our oneness and unity with God, but to consciously practice this truth in our everyday lives. Through celebration, service, study, prayer, and fellowship, we are committed to the transformation of our personal lives and to being a powerful and beneficial presence on the planet. With the energy of unconditional love, simply, we are here for God. Yes, and so it is. And so let us come together, raise our voices together, the Unity Naples Choir, which is you right now. Please raise up, and we're going to sing our community chant called Use Me.
Use me, oh God, I stand for you, and here I'll abide as you show me all that I must do. I used to think God was the sun, God is the sun, but God's so much more than He
standing for a moment as I speak a word of blessing upon our service this morning as we dive into the ecstasy of being. We start by remembering that there is a power, there is a presence, there is an infinite life that is good and very, very good. There is unconditional love, perfect peace, wholeness, that it is the very activity of our individual lives that moves itself, breathes itself, and has its beingness in, through, and as our lives. And we live and move and have our beingness in the heart and the mind of God. And so I know that today as we come together in celebration, as we come together with an open heart and an open mind, we are blessed, we are raised, we are praised, our lives are healed, our lives are expanded, our consciousness is raised. And as we do this together, our friends, our families, our co-workers, indeed our entire planet shifts. And so I just simply know that we are here by divine appointment, that we are here with a sacred contract to be a blessing to each other and to be blessed by each other. So we give thanks for this day in every possible way by saying together, and so it is. Amen. Amen. All right, David.
Whoops.
You could do that. Thank you.
Okay, so our summer theme, which ends today, by the way, is tending your spiritual garden. And Reverend Denise's talk today is the ecstasy, I love that, the ecstasy of being. And the book, The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer, inspires today's reading. What it means to live spiritually is to not participate in the constant struggle to keep it all together. It means to recognize that the events that happen in the moment belong to the moment. They don't belong to you. When an event in the universe doesn't match our conceptual model of ourselves or of life, it causes disturbance inside of us. If you can simply notice this, you will find that it is actually breaking up the model of yourself that you have created. So when you become truly spiritual, you will be different from everybody else. That which everybody else wants, you don't want. That which everybody else resists, you accept. You want your model to break, and you honor the experience when something happens that can cause a disturbance within you. Why should anything that anyone says or does cause you to get disturbed? You are just on a planet spinning around in the middle of absolutely nowhere. You came here to visit for a handful of years, and then you're going to leave. How can you live all stressed out over everything? Just don't do it. The reason you built the whole mental structure was to avoid pain. If you let it fall apart, you're going to feel the pain that you were avoiding when you built it. You must be willing to face this pain. The forces that were once protecting you are now imprisoning you. The way out is through awareness. So if you want permanent peace, joy, and happiness, you have to get to the other side of inner turmoil. You can experience a life in which waves of love can rush up inside of you anytime you want. It is the nature of your being. Once you reach this state, you will never have to worry about anything ever again. The forces of creation will create creation, both inside and outside of you. You will float in peace, love, and compassion beyond it all, yet honoring it all. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, David. David has such a way of talking. I always love listening to you speak, David. This is our funny little farewell song for Rev Denise. I hope you enjoy.
On the day we arrived on the planet, and blinking stepped into the sun, there was more to see than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. Some of us fall by the wayside, some of us soar through the stars, some of us sail through our troubles, and some of us have to live with scars in the circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, through faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding, in the circle of life. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless round. It's a circle of life, and it moves us all through despair and hope, faith and love, till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle of life, till we find our place on the path unwinding. It's the circle of life.
That was a tad unfair. I'm going to tell you why. So those were pictures I took. So when I see that lion, you put me there. So I'm right there. I'm not even here anymore. Thank you so much for coming. It was been a wonderful, wonderful. So I have to move right out of being into doing. Whew, that's right. Whew. So my topic today is the ecstasy of being. All of those pictures are mine. I have about another, after service we'll have more, and we have some videos and just some sharing. Is for all of you who don't know, I am going back for the 10th time this coming week for a month. And some of you have said, well, what's over there? Why 10 times? Why is once not enough, right? And some people have no interest in going to Africa, but some people have a lot of interest in going to Italy, right, or to Tuscany, or to the beach. So I wasn't quite sure what to call the talk initially, but I decided to call it the ecstasy of being, because I suppose that's why I keep going back. So the definition of ecstasy is an overwhelming feeling of great happiness or joyful excitement. It is a transcendence of the self. When most of us the word ecstasy doesn't really get attached to life most of the time, right? Like most people, you actually can't walk around like this all the time, right? Because there are things to do in life, so you can't actually be, you have to you have to chill a little bit. But most of us are far, 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 far away from ecstasy because we end up being in our everyday lives in an everyday way. And those everyday lives and the everyday ways last most of us for a lifetime. Because at some moment you get invited into a new experience, and it's really kind of common to say, oh, I don't think so, I'm pretty comfortable right here, right? Because it kind of feels big and bold and scary. But the soul, our soul wants what it wants. And the soul does want something. And it's wanted something your whole life. And the soul gives us nudges. Do any of you know what I'm talking about? Where everyday existence is not sufficient. And not that it's bad. And in fact, in no way is it bad. I remember I was 29 or 30. I was in a hotel in San Francisco on business, and I couldn't sleep. And I woke up and turned on the TV, and there was one of those shows for feeding the world, a World Hunger Organization infomercial, and there was a woman who kind of looked like me a little bit. She had dark hair. She was probably in her 30s, too. Anyway, her name was Denise Schubert. Whoa is right. But I was 30, right? It's like, oh, how funny is that? But I remember watching the whole infomercial, even though it wasn't about elephants, it was really about starving children, so it wasn't really that pleasant to watch. But nonetheless, there was Africa, and there was my name attached to it when I was 30. So when I was 60, so in 2014, I was 63, and I got a Groupon. Everybody know what a Groupon is? Like a living social thing, like a Groupon that said, from Lion World Travel, that said you can go to South Africa for 10 days for $3,995. It's like, right? I can do that. No, I can't do that. It's like, no, I could do that. It's like, no, you can't do that, right? And why couldn't I do that? Too old, too much money. I was ministering to the church in North Carolina. So 2014, I'd been there for 4 or 5 years. Anyway, so I went up to my then assistant minister, Reverend Dusty, and I said, Dusty, do you want to go to South Africa? And she said, sure. Right, so we went. And I am a doer in life. By the way, I'm an incredibly efficient person. I work hard, I work long, I work fast. My mind works faster than most people's, like a mile a minute, like the speed of light. And I get things done, and I always have. So the gift of Africa, really for me, was when you show up in front of that lion, and by the way, they're not that, but they're about that close. I mean, I do have a camera that zooms in a little bit, but that lion couldn't have been more than at the back of the sanctuary. And this afternoon, you'll see a couple pictures where you can see the vehicle in juxtaposition to the animal. But I can't even tell you what happened to me to be in this place where so many things, who I was made no difference whatsoever to anything. The lion didn't care, the elephant didn't care, right? My curriculum, my resume didn't matter, where I became unimportant. And it was such a transformative experience, the silence, the overwhelming silence of not doing anything. There was nothing to do but to be and to watch. And it was a life-changing event for me. And by the way, it was not was not all that pleasant experience coming back, because I had a hard time integrating back. Really hard time, because I didn't want to do anything. Now, that won't happen this time. I got accustomed to it, but that first time, it was hard. Because it was difficult to get back into the groove and to make the things that used to matter to me, right? To make the petty things that to me were so big before I went, to have them not be, to have them be, and to have me care about them. So I call it the ecstasy of being, because your soul wants expression. Everybody's divine birthright is to be, this beingness, and we don't know what that is. We either have never had the experience, or it's a little frightening, or we just have never listened. But I'm since then, my whole point in ministry has been to usher each person I meet into possibility. What's possible for your life? What haven't you done that you should be doing? Do we really want to be on our deathbeds going woulda, shoulda, coulda, because we were afraid, or because we didn't even know what the experience felt like? Because there is ecstasy there. You know, when we talk about God, we talk, our purpose statement says we don't want just a theoretical understanding of our oneness and union with God. We want the whole enchilada. We want the ecstasy. Now, these invitations into experience, you know, you can't cross the sea by merely standing and staring at the water. A quote by Tagore: you can't cross the sea by simply staring at the water. Guess what you have to do? You have to cross the sea. You have to go. You have to go. I want to share this one wonderful story. One of my trips was to go to Kenya, and I lived in Nairobi for 3 months. So I literally hired somebody to come live in my house, feed my cats, and I went to live in Nairobi. Now, I have never been as interesting to myself as I was in Nairobi, right? Like, who is this in Nairobi? Like, who am I living in Nairobi? It's a little different than South Africa. It's it's a city, very few white faces. So a lot of my stuff came up in Nairobi, right? Fear, being out of place. There was no Whole Foods or Trader Joe's. There was no one to cut my hair. The food was weird. But the biggest transformation for me, I don't know why I'm telling you this story, actually, it wasn't part of my plan, but I was living with Reverend Connie Phelps, who was the senior minister of the CSL in Canada, who had gone to Kenya to open up a Science of Mind church. And they had a big house, and I moved into this house. Well, one day, she and I decided to do this road trip. Now, we're two middle-aged white women, and she had a pink Volkswagen, right? And so we're going to go on a road trip out of Nairobi into the wilderness to go to a place called the Ark, which was a hotel in the middle of the Aberdare Forest, and spend a night, because you could go there and it was tiered, so you can sit and drink your wine and look out into this watering hole. So we're driving they call it Masungas, two white women in this pink Volkswagen. And the trip should have taken us 3 hours. After 5 hours, we're hopelessly lost. So the GPS has tried to get us here and tried to get us here and tried to get us here. I can't describe to you the countryside of Africa, of Kenya. There are villages. There are no gas stations. There's no fire departments. There's no stores, really. There's nothing. So we did this final stretch. We pulled down this mile long, well, maybe not a mile, maybe a half mile, really narrow road, because GPS said to go there to get to the Ark. It's about the same width as her pink Volkswagen, and the goats had to move out of our way, right? They were tethered. So we get to the end. That's it, dead end. Half mile, pink Volkswagen, muddy, it was raining. So it's like, well, now what do we do? We can't go back, we can't turn around. It's like, what are we gonna do? Out of the bushes come 6 African men. Are you with me? They were very, but, so I'm going, now what do we do? Can you hear the sounds? Click! So Connie had already lived there for a few years, so she wasn't nearly as nervous as I was. So anyway, we managed to, none of them spoke English, by the way. So nobody spoke English. We're 2 old white women in a pink Volkswagen in the middle of friggin' nowhere. So my heart is racing. There goes my life, there goes my body, there goes my camera. It's like, life is over. I was sure, do you understand? I was scared. So Connie got the car turned around, and we tried to put on the gas, but it was muddy, so there's no way we're going up this hill. No way. So finally we rolled down the windows. Hello, can you help us? It's like, could you imagine the stories they told their grandchildren? Well, to make a long story short, so they're pushing, they're pulling. Finally, this really roly-poly gentleman comes out of the same bushes, and he knocks on the window and he goes, "What are you doing here?" And I said, "We're lost." And he goes, "I can see that." So these 7 wonderful men and his wife ultimately came out as well. They spent 2 hours. Ultimately, what happened is one smart gentleman got a big rock. We pushed an inch rock, pushed another inch rock under the tire. Took about 2 hours to get us to where we can drive out of here. The kindness of strangers, right? The foolishness of our false beliefs, the who taught me that anyway, right? Who taught me to be afraid? But then this trip even gets better. So then we're out there, but we're still lost. We still don't know how to get to this hotel. So we're in the car, and the phone rings. "Hello, this is David with the Ark. Are you still coming?" It's like, yes, but we're lost. Oh, He says, "Find somebody near you." So it was this 10-year-old little African boy. And he said, "Give him your phone." So we give him his phone, and they go, and he goes, "Okay, go to the corner, turn right. I will call you in 10 minutes. Drove. Ring, ring, ring. "Okay, where are you? Tell me." Okay. Turn left at the next road, and I'll call you back in 15 minutes. He did this for an hour and a half. Now, could you imagine the Hilton Hotel doing that for you? Right? It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. So my point being, is when your soul, when you say yes, when you find the 20 seconds of insane courage to say yes to the invitation coming to you, what needs to come to you will come to you. Because that kind of experience, whether it's gazing into a lion's eyes or having your entire structure, right, your entire structure shifted through the experience, it changes you. You become more of who you're meant to be. Life becomes more of what it's meant to be. We are not meant to move through life like robots, like on a hamster wheel. It's like there's a promise of expansion, there's a promise of evolution, there's a promise of unprecedented growth. So 20 seconds of insane courage. You know, Michael Singer's book, The Untethered Soul, it's how many of you have read The Untethered Soul? It's really quite worth reading. He is a Buddhist. So the whole book is written from a Buddhist perspective. And I want to be completely honest, I love the book for only 2 reasons. One is chapter 15, which is a chapter on unconditional happiness, where he challenges us that can we be in life experiencing unconditional happiness? And most people would say no, of course not, because stuff happens, right? Shift happens. You can't be happy all the time. Well, he challenges that, and it changed my life to read that chapter because it's the same with peace or love. Can you be in life experiencing unconditional peace? So chapter 15, but mostly I love the name of the book, The Untethered Soul. So to tether something means for it to be tied down. Remember how they used to, probably still do, though I'd have to go punch somebody in the nose, but they used to tether elephants in a circus, right, to a thing so that the elephant could only walk this far, right? So tethered means to tie something down so that it cannot move. So this idea of our soul being tethered is more than an idea. Our souls are tethered until they're not. But the untethering of them, the ability to fly free, is really a decision we must make at some moment. With some Groupon comes in the mail. Or someone just says to you, hey, Betsy, you want to go to Europe next year? For some of us, it's even, do you feel ready to go to the movies? Right? For some of us, it's small, and for some of us, it's big. But I want to just say to you that so I resigned my ministry in 2015 because the experience, while ecstatic, was also, can you guys relate to a term, the dark night of the soul? A period of unease, a period of not having my footing in life. So I needed time, so I resigned. In 2015, obviously went to Africa 8 more times. That's also when I went and lived in Kenya for a few months, and I feel very grateful that I had the opportunity to do that. Not everybody does, for many reasons. But without that experience, I would not be who I am today. If you were to ask me, somebody asked Vera. Vera's not here today, right? But we were celebrated Vera's 90th birthday. For those of you who don't know Vera, she's 90, part of our community. And somebody walked up to her and said, how can you be 90 and be so happy? Right? Or how could you be 90 and be so vibrant and vital? And I think that what I'm talking about today has something to do with that, like this ecstasy of being, of finding who you are without a face, finding who you are without a resume, finding who you are without all those false ideas and beliefs you have about yourself and life, so that you can become untethered in life. So I almost didn't have any PowerPoints today because I read a quote by Steve Jobs. Did I say that right? Steve Jobs? Who said, the people who really have something to say don't need PowerPoint. It's like, oh my God. So, isn't that funny? It's like, okay, all right. So Emily Dickinson said, nothing more do I ask than to share with you the ecstasy and the sacrament of my life. Now, I want to find you, before I unpack this, the meaning, I have been sitting with this for days, the sacrament of my life, because it's a funny word for me, the sacrament of my life. Like those of you who are Catholic know what a sacrament is, right? Right? Yeah. 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 Part of this untetheredness of our souls is we are trained to, taught to, indoctrinated into an idea and a consciousness that you are a noun. That the definition of noun is a thing, that you are a thing. You are a minister, a mother, a doctor, a woman, a man. You are young, you are old. Do you understand what I'm saying? That we relate to ourselves in kind of a noun kind of way. What's really true, and it's true about you, it's true about God, it's true about life, is that we are verbs. A verb denotes action. So we are always moving. The other thing that Africa did for me is I now have nothing going on with me about a leopard killing an antelope. Nothing. Why? Because it's life. It's the cycle of life. It's the way things go. And as verbs, you know, without the lions eating antelope, there would be no lions or antelope, right? Without our allowing ourselves to be in movement, we become tethered. Do you know what happens when you become tethered? You know what happens. You become depressed. You become sick. The body, the spirit hates being tethered. You become, well, you name it, all of it. Just watch primetime television, all the commercials. All those medications are for untethered souls. Oh no, I'm sorry, they're for tethered souls. All those commercials are for tethered souls. You know, we met with the Blue Zone people here in Naples last week, and the Blue Zone people and the Blue Zone movement is really about how do we create environments where we can thrive and live long, long lives. And it has to do with healthiness, good food, good thinking, good community, spirituality. It has to do with embracing change. It has to do with saying yes to challenges. 20 seconds of insane courage. So, are you a noun or are you a verb? You're verbs. Say, I'm a verb. It's so, this conversation is actually a difficult one to have because we're talking about something that can't really be talked about. You know, we're talking about a state of being or a state of existence that is transcendent to our small self or the ego self. But the moment we start talking about it, we pull it into our mental structure. When in truth, it's really an ontological conversation about the very nature of being itself. So it's like a finger pointing at the moon. When you look at that lion, you feel one thing. When I look at that lion, I feel a different thing. And the difference is you're looking at a picture of a lion, and I'm looking at the experience of that lion. And I think you and I have talked about this before, that we want to live in such a way that we are living in the experience of our own life, that we're not tied, we're not numb, we're not like ostriches, that we are actually in the experience, good, bad, or ugly. So the definition of sacrament, there's something in this quote that if I were on my deathbed today, I think I would say this. I want to share with you my ecstasy and my sacrament. That I would want my life to be about that, and not about what it was when I was not in this state of consciousness, or before I had experienced this moment of ecstasy. The dictionary says sacrament means a ritual imparting divine grace. A ritual imparting divine grace. So when we take sacrament, right, it's given to us normally by in our religious practices. It also says a thing of mysterious and sacred significance. And the example they use in the dictionary is they used peyote as a sacrament, right? Something that imparts a mysterious and sacred significance. And so if I were to, when I look at the totality of my own life, and my life has been extraordinary in almost many ways. I mean, even for me to be here as your spiritual leader doing ministry into this community, into the world, is a pretty radical shift from when I was 25 and doing whatever I was doing at 25. But in truth, your life is a sacrament. Your life itself is the thing of mysterious and sacred significance. So not just Africa. It's not Africa that makes it sacred and significant. It's everything that makes it sacred and significant. But we must open ourselves to have that experience of ecstasy. Because once you have it, you may not be able to stay there 24/7, but once you have it, you know it, that it exists. You know that that's the truth about who you are. And it begins to color and mold and define what's possible for you moving forward from that moment of experience. And whether you know it or not, your life is a sacrament. So this idea that you don't matter, that we don't matter, that nothing matters is a lie. All the time we spend in fear, afraid of, whether it's afraid of a pandemic, afraid of people, afraid of what's going to happen next. It doesn't matter what happens next. You are birthless, deathless, eternal beings. Your whole life is sacred. So I look forward to sharing, answering your questions. You know, we're going to talk this afternoon about a possible spiritual sojourn for Unity Naples to South Africa next year together. I know some of you will be going. But want to answer your questions about what it's like to travel there, anything you want to talk about. So I have more pictures, some videos, and more conversation. I look forward to it. Thank you. Namaste. All right, so now I can get back get out of my body, back into prayer. So just join me for a moment by turning within, that space within you, that place within you, that dimension within you that is holy, that is perfect, that is complete, that is sacred. We close the outer eyes simply to let the world and all of its forms, effects, circumstances, conditions, people, places, and things, anything that displeases us, anything that pleases us, doesn't matter. Let that be right there. As you gaze into the very center of your being, you are a being, not a doing. You are holy. And just like staring into the eyes of a real lion in the real African bush, it tells you God is real. I am real. I exist. I'm a part of everything. I belong here. Not because of my degrees, not because I've accomplished so much, not because I'm cute, not because I'm rich. I belong here because I am a part of everything. And I am sacred. And you are sacred. And we elevate ourselves in this moment to the state of consciousness that knows nothing but unity and oneness, knows nothing but beauty and wholeness. We repudiate the tethered nature of this human existence. Oh, sure, we can honor it, but it doesn't have to hold us. It doesn't have to restrict us. We are free. We are light.
I am divinity defined. I am the God on the inside. I am a star, a piece of it all. I am light. 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 Sing with me. I am light. I am light. That is all we are. I am light. I am light. I am light. I am light.
And so I claim for each one here, I accept on your behalf that invitation comes forth. you meet it with 20 seconds of insane courage. That we together, you and we together, we embark on the experience of a lifetime that lets us know that we know that we know truly all is well. And so we are grateful. We are thankful. We are touched by divine grace even now. And so it is. Amen. Amen. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, back into the body we go. So now is our time of giving, our time of giving of our treasure. It's through our gifts of time, treasure, and talent that we create the context for our spiritual community here. It is you and I. This community belongs to us. It belongs to us because we say so. It is a place where we are fed. It's a place where we grow. It's a place where we discover our verbness. It's a place where you can discover your ecstasy. And so without our support, it does not exist. So I just invite you to dig deep, and your spiritual leader, I appreciate your generosity. So Amy and Jesse are going to, let's do our divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And Amy and Jesse will tell you how you can give.
Thank you. So there are a few ways that you can give. So the easiest way is text to give. You just send the word give to 239-230-4704. Again, that's 239-230-4704. And if it's your first time giving this way, you'll receive a link with instructions. But if you've given this way before, you can simply text the dollar amount to that number. You can also give through the website at unitynaples.org/give, where you'll find a Give Here button. And lastly, you can always mail a check to Unity Naples at 2000 Unity Way, Naples, Florida, 34112. And for anyone giving cash or check here in the sanctuary, please place your gift in the drop boxes located in the back as you exit. If you're giving cash, be sure to take an envelope in the back and write down your name on it. We want to know who you are. So thank you so much for giving this way. I would like to personally invite you to the 2 services that we have for the day of prayer. I feel like, and it matches the message today, that we tend to tether ourselves to our lives and we go around like the elephant in our little wheel, and we become accustomed to that and we grow. It's normal for us. But I feel like the past 2 years, Spirit has been knocking on us saying, it's time that we call you to serve a greater purpose. And I think we can do that together in prayer. So we are going to present you with music that you can fall into, chant, be a part of this national organization that's going to lift the world in prayer. So please, please join us. The dates are...
David will talk to you a little bit
Yeah,
more about that,
David
but it's
will
the
tell you
8th,
about
8th
that.
and 9th. Speaking of World Day of Prayer, there is a really cool opportunity that we just posted to our Facebook page, and you can actually do this right now if you still have your phone out. If you go to this specific website, and if it's easier for you to just click on it, again, it's right on our Facebook page. We just have an opportunity to really put Unity Naples on the map, spread a little bit of love by lighting a virtual candle in honor of World Day of Prayer, so be sure to take an opportunity to do that. We have so many amazing things going on week by week. David has so many great announcements for you. Don't forget about Wisdom Wednesday, every Wednesday night, 6 o'clock. Rev Claudia is joining us this month. We're going to be unpacking the message via music, and she'll be doing so with discussion with you guys, so be sure to join us. We have a special song that really is inspired by your adventurous spirit, Rev Denise, so please enjoy this.
Burn up the interstate, God, somewhere you need to be. Not gonna let nobody slow you down. Turn off the radio, turn up your telephone. Don't have the time to smell the roses now. Ooh, second maybe before it gets too loud. Breathe before your breath runs out. Don't try so hard to move past the moment. These days go by, they'll be gone before you know it. So come on, open your window, let the light shine in. This is life, don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it. Don't miss it.
All right. All right. I'm going to bless the offering. By the way, if you haven't looked at the pond, we are so abundant. We are overflowing in every possible way. We have baby goldfish. Little, and we now have one turtle. A turtle. This big. Yeah. So, anyway. Yeah. So, let's just give thanks for all of the good in our lives. Living from the overflow, fully recognizing and blessing everything given here today with love, with joy, with generosity, knowing that the giver and the receiver are blessed, knowing that in the blessing of this community, we are blessed equally. We are one. We are united in our endeavor to live as verbs and to be a beneficial presence to our families, to our communities, to Naples, and to indeed the world. And so on behalf of the entire community, I thank you. And so it is. Also, we are in the middle of a we're just keeping our forefront. In fact, somebody mentioned to me last week that this may not be perfectly unclear. That's we were gifted $55,000 towards the development of our campus as a world-class destination for retreat and spiritual study. That was a gift given to us. We are inviting all of us to match that gift, not you necessarily $55,000, but we'll accept that, but that we as a community match that $55,000 gift so it becomes $110,000 total. So that's still going on. You can do text to give as well, except after your donation, put in the word retreat and it goes right into the retreat fund. All right. I think it's... Oh, yes. See, please forgive me. I'm so not in my body. Whoever you are and wherever you are on your spiritual journey, you are welcomed here. So if you are here for the very first time, you picked a really great day to be here. If you are here, please stand. We're not going to ask you to do anything. Our volunteers have a gift for you. We would like to give you this gift to thank you for joining us. Yes. Yes, don't be shy. Right over there. We have, you truly are welcome here. We have so much going on here. When you come, you add to the All That Is. You can leave your address, your email address with us at the back on the table if you like, and please come back right after service and join us for my affair with Africa. Thank you.
Okay, good morning once again. My name is David Karg, and I'm really pleased to be your platform assistant this morning. And just thank you so much for your energy and for turning out today. Really appreciate it. We have some wonderful activities the next couple weeks, and I'm just going to go over them. So we have the community kirtan and vegetarian potluck, and that's going to be on this coming Saturday, September 4th. And it's a devotional exercise. It's centuries old. It's a form of spiritual practice using a call and response style of song and chanting in a variety of languages. And so bring a vegetarian dish and also a mat or something comfortable to a cushion to lay on, or if you prefer, chairs will be provided if you prefer to sit. But you're also welcome to bring an instrument. This is really important. If you're encouraged to bring any musical instruments you have, and we will actually have chords and lyrics on the big screen, and so you can follow along with that. Now, there's a suggested love offering at $10 to $20, but as always, nobody's turned away. So you can drop in anytime between 5 and 8:30. The vegetarian potluck is served at 5 o'clock. So I hope to see you there. And Rap with the Rev next Sunday, September 5th. Join Reverend Claudia in the sanctuary immediately following the service. This is a free 1-hour gathering. So bring questions, your thoughts. It's a good time to get to know each other better, to get to know Reverend Claudia better, to learn about our spiritual journeys, others to share, because we're all in this together, and it's nice to be with people of like-mindedness. So please join us for Rap with the Rev next Sunday. And our Life Book Study Club, beginning Wednesday, September 8th, join Reverend Eileen Chernow, and she is going to be doing the book, reviewing the book, studying the book, Everything is Here to Help You by Matt Kahn. And this is a brilliant book. It's a combination of insight, guidance, warmth, wisdom. It's just really a very, very powerful book. It's going to open your heart. It's going to calm your mind, and it's a really beautiful guidance tool. No registration is required for this. Anyone is welcome. You can drop in anytime, and it is on Zoom all Wednesdays at 11 a.m., and there's information in your bulletin, and of course on our website, and on you can get more information on it. And then, as Amy was talking about, our World Day of Prayer, experience 2 powerful evenings of meditation, fellowship, music, prayer. So we're coming together in spirit with our global unity community, okay? And this is Receive Spiritual Inspiration from Reverend Claudia, and music by the one and only Amy and Jesse. And the first evening, Wednesday, it's going to start at 8 o'clock, September 8th. What did I say? I didn't say, I said that right. September 8th, starting at 6. That's what I meant to say, right? Okay. And this is going to include lighting of candles, silent meditation, praying over the prayers. And thank you so much for the prayers that we're collecting here. So a real nice opportunity to pray over those prayers. And also the next evening, Thursday, September 9th, also at 6 o'clock, we're going to include a crystal bowl meditation by Linda Collins. And we will also be doing an all faiths blessing. And once again, this is a free event, though love offerings are always accepted. And prayer is really the key component to our spiritual practice. We talk about that all the time here. And so you're going to find prayer slips in your bulletins. We have some outside at the table, but if you'd please fill those out, drop them in the box. We're collecting them. The prayer chaplains will be collecting them after the service. And those are the prayers we're going to be praying over during our World Day of Prayer. And just put the names of the people on there that you want prayer for, and just, again, drop them off at the exit. And we also are going to have a family constellation workshop, and this is, so join life coach Toby Burton for an empowering morning of seeking new understanding of the stories of your ancestors and reshaping the possibilities of your future. Family constellation is really an incredibly powerful group process, which can provide huge openings, understanding about your life, your background, and just freedom from the past that often binds us. I've attended several of these workshops. They're extremely powerful, trust me. So if you've never been exposed to this, I would highly recommend it. There's a $40 cost. To register or to get more information on it, visit unitynaples.org. And thank you so much. Again, if you have an opportunity, please attend. And we're all, as I said earlier, we're all about prayer here. And we're a praying community. So if you need prayer support, there are a number of ways to do this. We're here for you. We want to pray with you. We want to all come together in prayer as a spiritual community. So, our prayer chaplains are available every Sunday after the service for prayer at these locations. You see prayer healing here, happening here, prayer here. Please, if you feel the need, you'd like to just talk to somebody, like a 1 or 2 minute miracle prayer, just to pray, just join us right here. And you can also email us, prayer@unitynaples.org. You can call us our office, which is 239-775-3009. You can leave a message. Somebody will call you back. And if you need immediate prayer assistance, we have the Silent Unity Worldwide prayer line, which is 816-969-2000, and they're available 24/7. So once again, all these events are listed in your bulletins. You can find them online at unitynaples.org or on our Facebook page. Okay, now as we get ready to end up our service, we're going to do our community affirmation today. And as we all stand, get a little of that energy going here. We're going to say, this is a call and response. I say one line, you repeat it back. And of course, the thing is, we're doing this standing up, and we're also doing it with what?
Enthusiasm.
Yes, you got it. Very good. Okay, so here we go. I am a unique and individualized expression of God.
I am a unique and individualized expression of God.
Excellent. The love intelligence that governs this universe.
The love intelligence that governs this universe.
God lives and moves and has its being as my life.
God lives and moves and has its being as my life.
I live and move and have my being as the life of God.
I live and move and have my being as the life of God.
I release any idea of unworthiness.
I release any idea of unworthiness.
God has no self-esteem issues, and neither do I.
God has no self-esteem issues, and neither do I.
Today I bloom, blossom, and bless my destiny.
Today I bloom, blossom, and bless my destiny.
I am grateful.
I am grateful.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Amen.
Amen.
Woo. Yes. Okay. Yeah.
Stay standing. I'm going to speak a closing blessing for us. Thank you so much. A lot of announcements, right? Yeah. Whew. I have you take hands, but take hands psychically. Connect with each other. Recognize our sacred relationship with each other as a consciously connected spiritual community. Knowing that we go forth from this time expressing our verbness, saying yes to invitations from the universe, giving voice to our souls, and simply allowing ourselves to be lifted, raised, and praised by this amazing life we live. That's called our life. And so we give thanks for today's service, all of the music, all of the blessings. We call it good, and so it is. Amen. Amen. All right, let us sing. 2, 3, 4, 1.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as Creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace,
Together we say, the light of God surrounds us, the love of God enfolds us, the power of God protects us, the presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.